When you speak about Cataldo Mission, the Coeur d'Alene's always refer to that as Scotootums, because that's the clan that lived in that area under that name, Scotootums. But Cataldo was built after the first mission on the St. Joe River, after St. Mary's Mission there. The St. Joseph Mission over there on the St. Joe River, they couldn't hardly survive because of floods. Every year they were more or less flooded out. And so that's when they moved. The people from around Cataldo knew of that area, and they thought to build on that hill was the ideal place. You couldn't get flooded out. You'd be protected. So that's what. And beside that, they could do a lot of gardening and farming.
The mission was started building in around 1850, finished in 1853. It was built by Jesuit priests and Coeur d'Alene tribe members. If you're inside, you can see the handprints left in the mud, in the wattle and daub with the tribe members. This is Idaho's oldest standing building. In 1975 is when it became an Idaho State Park. And the tribe still had a lot of involvement in it, and so did the Catholic Diocese out of Boise. We also have had some major restoration work on the building with the columns and the pillars. Some changes out with that, a lot of help from the Idaho Heritage Trust, the Pacific Northwest Field School, and a lot of private entities helping out. It's one of, I think, Idaho's premier, most loved buildings. It's really iconic, picturesque on top of the hill. We get a lot of school groups, and we get a lot of weddings. It's a beautiful place for a wedding. A lot of different ceremonies, mass inside, special celebrations. Just a beautiful building that needs to be preserved for the state of Idaho.
The Trust has been involved in several projects here at the Cataldo Mission. And probably one of the most significant ones has to deal with the detail of the trim around this Dutch gable. Is that this large trim is basically out of large pieces of timber, and we had the arch that was deteriorating. We had a small piece at the side. So we had to go ahead and replace these. Because of the curve, we had to find very large pieces of timber. And we're talking in terms of about 10 inches wide, 4 feet high, 14 feet long, in order to get the curve out of it. And we were helped by the Forest Service. We were also helped by the National Park Service. I supplied the drawings for the project through the Trust. And the Forest Service, 2 years later, after we put a request in, actually went and found a couple trees up in Washington State that they saved for us. Is that we dried them up there for a while, we brought them down here. Then the preservation team from North Cascades out of the National Park Service came down and actually did the work up here. We had a high reach, they went up, they pulled these pieces out to use them as patterns. A local mining company gave us the use of a warehouse in which we could manufacture these things in. So it was a multi-agency operation, but the Trust was an integral part of helping continue this around. A couple other earlier projects that the Trust has done is that we replaced a couple columns for them, and we helped replace some of the trim at the base of the columns on this side. So for years, the Trust has constantly been coming here and helping, and it's one of our really favorite projects. One of the things are these wonderful trusses that we have here. The rafters and the collar tie, not a true truss. Hand-hewed beams. This is heavy timber construction. Connections are made by these wooden nails, and then we're going to turn around about 180 degrees because I want you to connect. Do you see how this is cut to be a dovetailed that's set into the side of that
Yeah.
primary rafter.
Look at that.
So this was really, really heavy, exquisite work to be done. And just thinking at 1853, we have to go ahead and erect these. I mean, today we would have a huge big crane up here. They did it all by themselves. So this is just an amazing space.
When you look into that church, everything was made by the hand, except with the saw, you know. And then all these years, it's was trying all the elements. Even the 1910 fire, the whole surrounding that area was afire. And but that's when the Coeur d'Alene's, when they heard about the fire around Cataldo, they prayed for that church. Maybe their prayers is one that looked over their church. And that's what it meant to them.